Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. Today, I'll be giving a speech about fast fashion, like what's the harms of fast fashion, and also what better choices we can make, and why you should make those choices. So, now, close your eyes. Think up in your head like you're buying a $5 shirt, right? It's trendy looking. It's nice. It's probably like one of the best shirts you've ever seen. But now, what if I told you that shirt cost someone their health, contaminated over 700 gallons of water, and is likely to be tossed out by you in a few months because fashion is always changing every week? That is the true that is the true price of fast fashion. A system that produces massive amount of clothing cheaply and quickly. Today, I am urging you to stop supporting fast fashion and start making conscious, sustainable choices. In my last speech, I laid out what fast fashion is and why it exists. But now, as the person responsible for influencing purchasing policies and raising awareness, I want to share why I no longer support fast fashion and why you shouldn't either. So, I'll break this down into three steps. So, I mean, not three steps, but more like three categories. The first one would be how fast fashion damages the environment. Second is how it abuses garment workers, and finally, what we can do instead. So part one, right? Fast fashion is destroying our environment. The fast fashion industry is the second largest consumer of water and is responsible of 10% of global carbon emissions. According to the United Nations Environment Program, to make one cotton t-shirt, it takes over 2,700 liters of water. Now, that is a lot of water. It's so much water that it's enough to sustain one person for nearly 3 years. And this is coming from the World Wildlife Fund in 2024. And it's not just water that fast fashion brand waste. Fast fashion brands also release microplastics, and they also use toxic dyes and contribute to overflowing landfills. One article from Global Society 2024 called it one of they call fast fashion as one of the world's dirtiest industries. And according to the United Nations Environment Program, fast fashion not only uses excessive water, but releases harmful microfibers into the ocean, worsening the climate crisis. So my second point, right, is fast fashion exploiting people, especially women. So fast fashion isn't just an environmental issue; it is a human rights issue. Garment workers in countries like Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Vietnam are paid as little as $95 a month. In America, you're not doing much with $95. That is not a livable wage. So these people are getting paid so low for such a hard work that they're doing. And this is according to the International Labor Organization 2022. Many of these workers work like 12 to 16 hours a day for 6 days a week, only getting one day off in these unsafe factories. Imagine if you were working these unsafe hours and days. You will be complaining, or maybe even rioting. A woman in an H&M supplier factory said, we don't complain because we could be fired. So they're only given two options. Either you shut up and work in these unsafe industries, or you talk out and you lose your job. This is why most people don't say nothing while they're working in this industry, knowing how bad it is. These are the hands sewing the clothes we throw away after a few uses. The International Labor Organization reported that millions of fast fashion workers, mostly women, live in poverty with no labor protections. And this was reported back in 2022. And while CEOs profit like billions of dollars, these workers are stuck in a cycle of exploitation, always being used for their labor. The UN Alliance for Sustainable Fashion explains that fast fashion contributes to both gender inequality and social injustice through unfair labor practices. And now let's get to our third point, which is we can do better without sacrificing style, because we all like our style, right? So there's four things we can do, and here's what it is. The first one is buy less and choose quality. So by this, you can support sustainable brands like Pact, Everlane, or ThreadUp. They're in better quality, might be a little bit more expensive, but they will last you longer. And then the second one is shopping secondhand. Thrift stores and online resale platforms offer great options that you can look out for. So they might not be as cheap as Shein, Zara, and H&M, but they'll be able to kind of compete with those prices and still being in what's it called good condition. I try to donate my clothes and they weren't taking ripped clothes, like they really wanted looking like it's brand new sometimes. Uh, the third one is joining clothing swaps, right? So most people might not know about this. Clothing swaps are like communities that are, it's basically like where you go. If I have a certain shirt, I don't really want it, and then there's somebody else who has a certain shirt. We we both see what type of shirt we both have, right? And then I'm like, I may not necessarily like his shirt, but if I like it better than the shirt I have, and he likes the shirt I have more than he had, the one he has, we can swap, and then that's us now using. Now that will last me a whole lot longer for the shirt that I'm using, and the shirt he's. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is my shirt will be lasting a whole lot longer before it gets thrown away, and his shirt will be lasting a whole lot longer because he wore it, and then now he's done. Now I'm wearing it until I get done. And if I keep doing clothing swaps while keeping that shirt in good condition, that shirt could last way longer than a couple weeks or even at most a month, you know? And the last one, right, is educating others. So, like talking about it, posting about it, and sharing the truth. So, by doing these four different ways to like mitigate fast fashion, that doesn't mean you never buy anything new, right? That just means making thoughtful purchases, not impulsive ones. And according to Good on You in 2022, buying secondhand or from ethical brands drastically reduces environmental impact and supports reasonable manufacturing. Like you don't need new outfit every week. You just need clothes that reflect your values, not just trends. You might be thinking now like two questions, right? The first question you might be thinking is, but sustainable fashion is expensive, which I do agree. It often is, but hear me out. Buying fewer high quality items over time actually saves you money and lasts longer. You're also not paying for someone else suffering. So if I were to buy cheap clothes, it can only last me probably not that long. But if I'm buying quality clothes, yes, it's more expensive, but the duration that I can wear it for, it will be way longer. So in the end, I am technically saving than keep buying cheap clothes to replace the old cheap clothes that broke down. And another question you may be thinking is like, well, I'm just one person. How much difference can I make? You'd be surprised. You can make a big difference, you know? Like big change starts with small actions. One choice inspires another, and suddenly it becomes a movement. Most movements, that's how they start. Because it doesn't movement don't just start with a mass group. It's one person having that idea, which a whole bunch of people have that idea. They get together, and then they start this movement where more people come and get together. So let's conclude this, right? We can't ignore the true cost of fast fashion any longer. It's like time we stop funding an industry that thrives on exploitation and pollution. Next time you shop, ask like, who made this? At what cost? Then make sure you choose better. I'm not just asking you to change your shopping habits. I'm inviting you to lead the way. You have the power to vote with your wallet, educate your friends, and push for transparency. Let us wear our values, not just the latest trends. Thank you for your time.